Well, welcome everybody to the WestJet Pilot Pension Estimator. It is out now, and this is a video to show you how to use it. My name is Clayton Gossen, and I am the SME on pension here. So you just start off, you can read or just agree to the terms, that's up to you, and hit start. Okay, here's your entry page. So we start by entering your date of birth. Open up the box, click a year, and a date. There you go. So this is a June 14th, 1994. Next up, are you currently participating in the reduced block program? If you click yes, all the calculator will do with that then is take 600 hours MMG for the rest of your career. If you click no, which would be most of our pilots, it'll do 930 hours per year for your career. Date of enrollment, Jan 1, we're starting with 2025 earnings. That's based on next year. What is your highest completed pay step? So for me personally, I'm in pay step 8. My time at Encore didn't count, so I would enter pay step 7. If you are a top scale captain, just enter 12. If you're a new hire, which is what our example will be now, we're going to enter 0. So our new hire will be a Boeing 737 first officer. I click that. How many years in this position? Well, let's say he's going to fly for 7 years. Add to table. He pops up in this table. Now this is what you got to watch, guys. The next thing you do is you don't scroll down. You actually have to come back up and to select your aircraft and rank again and click this box again and pick your next career move here. So next, let's say he wants to fly the 787 for a few years. Add to table, drops in. Time for an upgrade. Boeing 737 captain. Let's say this pilot flies that for 10 years. Add to table. You can see it came in. And let's say this person's lucky enough to retire on the 787. Now, this is something that everyone needs to watch. For your last entry, you have to click until retirement and then add to table. So even, for example, if you are a 737 or 787 captain and you plan to retire off that seat, that is what you do. You just enter until retirement, add to table, and you'll just have one row in this box. Next up, this is your estimated earning increase. So this is basically just your cost of living increase that you think we will be able to get in our future collective agreements. I would just enter 2% for inflation on our salaries. Estimate, it's thinking. Total annual pension at age 65, $211,000 a year. How did it come up with that? Well, open up the detailed explanation. Read this if you so choose. Scroll down. This is how it came up with it. This is the sort of the formula behind the formula. So example 2027, you're supposed to make $116,000 based on your MMG. Your total contributions are 11% of that because it's 10% WestJet, 1% pilot, and that is this amount times 9.5%. So that's how much pension you accrued during that year, and then it gets added into this column. This column is AIW. That's how your pension keeps growing with inflation while you're working so that you don't lose any ground. And you just follow these down, and that's how it comes up with your final amount. You were making $620,000 a year the year you retired. How do we get such a high number? That's many, many years of 2% inflation, and that we added that number in. Down here, you can again see the progression you put in, and lower, these are the assumptions that the calculator is coming up with its value from. On the left, we can make adjustments here. This is where you can add back in RBP. Like I said, it'll knock this down to 600 hours per year for the entire career, so that'll really drop it. You can change your COLA here from 0 to 5%. You choose the amount. You can change your retirement age. So let's put in age 60 as an example. This is going to really reduce your pension. 129,000. How did it get that? Well, again, you can look at this column here. Follow it down. It said you were going to get 152,000 at age 60. but because you're retiring 5 years earlier, that's a 3% reduction per year, so there's a 15% reduction. So that's how it gets the $129,000. You can also fly past 65. Let's put in a really high number like 70 just to show the value of this. Calculate. Really cranks it up to 278. How did I get that? Same thing, you can just follow it down if you so choose. But you might be thinking to yourself, this pilot put in Boeing 787 captain for his final job, and you cannot fly the 787 past 65. The calculator takes account for that. Here you can see 787 pays $620, $632. After the pilot 65, it drops down to $555 per year. This is the 2060 737 captain pay scale with the inflation that we put in at 2%. So it's very accurate. You can also, instead of picking a retirement age, put in a specific date. Spouse, yes or no, this does not change that amount. The only thing this yes or no changes is when they show you the value of your pension here, it adds a survivor amount as an example, as a hypothetical, and if you click no spouse, it just won't have that in the value. And then lastly, guys, see the value of a purchase. If you want to make a purchase, you can put it in and it'll show you what that purchase is going to be worth. I'll just readjust this to age 65, so we're sort of dealing with apples to apples. Alright, let's say you want to do a $100,000 purchase now. You will start the purchase probably after the pension's going, so let's say you get around to it in May of next year and hit calculate. This is the amount of money you can expect to receive based on the assumptions per year based on your $100,000 contribution at age 65. This toggle will bring you back to just your pension, the 211, and the bottom toggle shows both of those numbers combined, so 234. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this makes sense. Safe flying out there, and enjoy playing with this calculator and seeing what kind of pension you can have to protect your retirement. Thank you.